I'm who I chose to be. Niggas ain't close to me. When a nigga touch down, they gon' talk down cause they ain't froze as me. Niggas don't know the street. I had to load the piece.
I'm who they supposed to be. I'm who I chose to be. Niggas ain't close to me. When a nigga touch down, they gon' talk down cause they ain't froze as me.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. So I'm just gonna show you guys how to get a nice natural look on beautiful dark skin. So right now all I'm doing is cleansing the skin, freeing it of any oils or anything that will make the makeup not stick throughout the day. And I'm heavily focusing on the T-zone area because those are the areas that get the most shiny. So now I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills DIPBROW pomade in the color dark brown. And I'm using dark brown because I feel like that will go really good with this type of look and it matches the best with her skin tone. I'm doing the outer 3/4 of her eyebrows, and then I'm going to lightly fill in the front of her eyebrows and then use a spoolie to help fan it out to give it a more natural look. So now I'm just using the Milani concealer in the shade 170, and I'm using that to really clean up her eyebrows, and I'm also dragging it down to her eyelids to use it as an eyeshadow primer and also as a way to get rid of any discoloration if you have any. So for this step, I'm going to make sure I lightly tap in the product so that way the eyeshadow does not come out patchy and it does not leave a bunch of streaks across her face. So I don't know if y'all remember from my last video that I said that I got a new camera, and this is it, y'all. I'm so happy. Like, for real, I'm really happy because if you know, like if I said in my last video, I've been struggling with these cameras. So I hope this video, you know, turns out a lot better for y'all, and I hope y'all like the quality a lot better because I definitely noticed the difference between using my iPhone and the last camera I had and this camera I have. It's amazing. So now I'm going to use the darkest shade from the, what palette is this, y'all? Don't you just hate whenever you're doing these voiceovers and you get like a brain freeze? But this is from the P. Louise palette. That's the P. Louise Secret Center palette. And I'm going to have all the information listed down below in the description box. But this is the darkest shade they have. and I'm going to use that as her transition color. I'm going to make sure I use circular motions when putting on these matte shadows, because like I said earlier, you can have them coming out really patchy and you don't want that. And you really want to make sure you really blend this out. Like, take your time and build the color so it can give it a nice deep crease, but you really want to blend this out because you don't want to get raccoon eyes, and that's not cute, sis. So yeah, just really make sure you pay attention to detail with that. And I'm going to use the yellow from the Secret Center palette as well, and just a little bit of yellow just to really help make sure I get that soft blend. I don't really want a harsh transition, so the yellow or an orange will work very good with transitioning or trying to fade out these colors. So now I'm going to use the Milani concealer in the shade 160, and I'm going to use that as like an eyeshadow base for her eyeshadow. And I'm not really doing a cut crease, I'm just kind of mapping out where I really want my eyeshadow to go. And once I get this all aligned, I'm going to go back in with that same brush I used to, you know, blend out the concealer around her eyebrows. And I'm going to use that to really use light tapping motions to really blend out this concealer, because I do want a soft look and I want to make sure that the eyeshadow does not appear patchy when I apply it. So I'm going to use the James Charles palette. It's the James Charles and Morphe palette, that collaboration. And I'm going to use, it's like this top, it's a color at the very top of the palette. I don't have a name, but it's a white. It's in the top left corner, the very top. You can't miss it. And I'm going to use that whitish beige color for my eyeshadow today. I don't want nothing really too, you know, harsh. I just want something that's going to really give a nice, soft, natural, you know, hey, I got a little bit of eyeshadow on, but it's not a whole lot of eyeshadow kind of look thing. I'm really not trying to be dramatic with this look at all, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm going to dibble and dabble back and forth in between the Secret Center palette to kind of really give it that good blend to make sure I don't lose any of my brown. And it just really helps like smoke out like this look, and it just makes it look really, really pretty. So just try to go back in between and make sure it's really blended. And for eyeliner today, I'm going to use the e.l.f. liquid liner, and because she has really low lid space, you do not want her to open her eyes. Well, I don't want her to open her eyes so fast, so if you have a client with a really low lid space, try to encourage them to keep their eyes closed as long as possible, so that way it can dry properly and it does not smear off on the eyeshadow. I'm using mascara to really help bring out her eyelashes. And so I apply my Photo Finish primer, and I'm using the Milk Makeup primer, and I'm applying that all over her T-zone to really make sure this makeup sticks and it looks nice and photo finish and ready to go. Because y'all know it be hot outside, or you just get sweaty and oily and you don't want your makeup looking all crazy. And I know I use Nars. I don't know the exact name, but I will list it down in the description box. And I use just one shade, which is perfect. Like normally it's really hard to get this one perfect shade. And I just apply that all over her face. I put a little more where I thought where more was needed, and I put a little less around, like, you know, places like her hairline and stuff like that. and I really blended it out really good. I love using this brush, y'all. It is a Real Techniques brush. This is literally the best brush I've ever used. I have at least 3 of them, and I'm just making sure I use really soft tapping motions to apply this foundation. And to highlight her face, I used the Milani concealer in the shade 165. And I use a damp beauty blender to help really blend out that concealer. That way it does not have a patchy or a streaky effect on the baby smooth skin finish that we're trying to achieve here, sis. So for the contour, I don't really remember exactly off the top of my head what color or what brand I use, but I will list it in the description box below. All I will say about this is that you don't really want to use a whole lot of it because you don't want to really throw off the shades in her face. And you want to, again, use the light tapping motions to really help blend this product out. So to set her face, I used the Fenty Beauty setting powder in the color Honey. But like I said before, I'm going to make sure I list that down below to give y'all the exact shades and what I use. And I'm not really necessarily baking her face. I'm just taking the setting powder and really like applying it to the highlights, like really pressing it into her skin without like hurting her, of course. But I don't want this stuff to have any type of flashback or to make her face look ashy. So everywhere where I applied the highlights, I applied the baking powder. And to set her contour, I'm using the black Radiance contour palette in the shades medium to dark, and I'm using the contour color to really set in her contour and to contour her nose a little bit and to contour around her forehead and near her chin area. And y'all, I just started using blush like literally a few months ago, and I'm in love. I feel like I've been missing out on everything in life. But this is the blush from the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I think it's like a berry palette. I don't know, but I'll have the exact name of what kind of blush palette it is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. But y'all, this is like it. I love it. And I want to use a darker shade, nothing that was going to take away from the look. And I'm using the Morphe setting spray. I like to kind of use 2 setting sprays now for, like, you know, something that's really beat. And I'm using the MAC. It is the Gold Deposit highlighter to highlight her nose, the bridge of her nose, the top of her lip, and underneath her eyebrow. So this right here, I'm just using this a little bit of it because this is a natural look. I'm not going to get too carried away because the main purpose of this look is to really just show off that baby skin finish look, and this is meant to go with any outfit. So that's why I'm not getting too carried away with the highlighter today. So now I'm just applying the eyelashes from servingcrowns.com. These are the Fancy Nancy eyelashes. So I did use this because it was something a little bit sassy, but it wasn't like too dramatic either. It was just perfect for this look. And my tweezers would not let me be great, y'all. Like, these tweezers were all type of jacked up, so I'm definitely gonna have to give me some new tweezers. And just to really help make her eyes pop, I'm going to use that same color I used from the Secret Center palette, the dark color, and I'm going to kind of dust it under her eyes, like in her, like wherever, like in her lower eye area. I don't know what that area is called, but I'm going to put it right there because I want to bring out her eyes. It just give it more of a like finished look. And don't y'all be laughing at me, okay? Listen, we all be trying up in here. And yeah, so let us all be great together. And I'm going to use that mascara to really just complete the look for the bottom part of her lashes. That's what it's called, the bottom part of her lashes, y'all. And just to really finish her up, I'm going to use some lip gloss from Victoria's Secret. It is like the purplish, kind of clearish lip gloss. Like I said, I'm going to put everything in the description box. I didn't really want nothing too heavy for this look. I want it to be just as soft and natural as possible. But that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to another one of my videos. And I'll see you guys next time.
I'm who I chose to be. Niggas ain't close to me. When a nigga touch down, they gon' talk down, cause they ain't froze as me. Niggas don't know the street. I had to load the piece.
I'm who they supposed to be.